There's another reason why I think guys care more about body count, and it's actually an evolutionary biological thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it comes down to paternity. So,
Mm-hmm.
can you guarantee that the child is yours? Now, every single woman, if you have a kid, you know that's your kid, but that's not the case for men. And so now in the past 40 years, they've figured out DNA. We can do paternity tests and we can determine who's the father. But I mean, one, paternity tests are not automatic. And secondly, even though with modern science, we've worked it out, there's been hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, and men still have that innate biological hardwiring where we do feel repulsed by female promiscuity, because someone who is promiscuous, there's a risk of the child not being yours.
Potentially, but at the same time...
You disagree. Go ahead. Say your piece.
Me? Okay.
Oh, wait. Whoever.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Okay,
you start first.
Well, that's... Okay, so if a woman is in a relationship with a man and they're together, and if they're in a relationship, that's just saying that he's or she's cheating on him if he's unsure if that's his child.
Sorry, repeat that?
Yeah, so if a woman is in a relationship with a man and they have a child together, assuming that's his child, and he's thinks that potentially that child is not his, then that's just assuming that she's cheating on him. So it's like in that sense. Like if she's loyal, then why would that be like
a question?
Yeah.
Wait, so you say, obviously it's a biological thing that men are repulsed by women because it's biological, right?
Men are not repulsed by women.
By
men are
women who
are promiscuity.
Promiscuity. Why can't women be repulsed by the same thing?
I'm not saying women can't. I think it's stronger. I do think it is stronger in men it's because of the paternity thing. So, and again, men and women want different things, but I mean, I'm not saying that women would not take issue, and there certainly are women who are like, you know what, I just wouldn't want to date a guy that was a player and fucked 100 chicks. Yeah. In fact, we can go around the table like, would you date a guy that you knew slept with 100 guys before? Let's start with Gabby.
No. Would I date a guy?
Would you date a guy who has slept with 100 women before you? You're number 101. You're very special.
101 Dalmatians. Oh man, I would have to think about this.
What if it was an NBA player? No, I'm kidding.
I feel like if we talk about it and kind of work through it, then it wouldn't really matter as long as he's clean. Then yeah, maybe.
So it wouldn't raise an eyebrow at all?
It would raise an eyebrow, so we'd have to have a conversation about it or something.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I mean, my boyfriend does have, not 100, but he does have a pretty high up there body count, and I mean, I'm with him.
So your boyfriend's a legend, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he dropped his crown.
He dropped his crown.
Me now, so.
He dropped his crown. He's with you.
He dropped his crown.
You're you made him change his ways.
Yeah,
okay.
I did.
I mean, would I date someone I feel like my boyfriend is a hoe on the low. Well, was a hoe on the low and doesn't want to tell me, but I don't really care. I feel like I know who I am. I know I'm loyal. If they're secure in their loyalty, I don't think that it should be something that defines my entire relationship. So
your boyfriend's a hoe is what you're saying.
I don't know. Maybe he was. Past tense, yeah.
I feel like I don't care whatever he did, before we said we were exclusive. But after that, that's what matters.
I agree on that. It's
like if we're like talking and like then we decide we're dating, we're exclusive, I don't, and he's loyal to me and we decide that we feel the same way about each other and we're focused on each other, I don't think it matters what happened before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I say body count doesn't matter, and like I do believe that, I don't know, I'm like on the fence with it, because I do believe like what's in the past is in the past, and if you're dating someone, then that's, you know, their focus is you. But if a guy did sleep with 100 people, I think I would be like, that I was interested in, I don't know, I think I'd feel weird about it. But then again, like that wouldn't be like a factor for me to not date him.
I guess I should have framed the question differently. It's not like you're in a relationship with a guy and you're 3 months in and you're all of a sudden discovering that he previously slept with 100 people. It's you're first meeting him and you know this guy's a player. You know he's run through 100 girls. Yeah. So, I mean, to me, even if I was a girl, I'd be thinking, okay, I'm interested in a long-term relationship. You can do whatever you want, right? But if as a girl you're like, hey, I want a long-term relationship, this guy's slept with 100 women before.
Yeah,
it depends.
You're gonna think like, yeah, this guy's a player. Like you're gonna feel a certain type of way about that.
I mean, I can't say like my boyfriend's hot as fuck. When I first met him, I was like, oh, he's probably fucked this entire city or something. And like, no, obviously it wasn't like that, but it did cross my mind. I was like, I wonder who is I'm gonna tell this, and be like, oh, I know who that is, you know, like, and it's just like it is something that did cross my mind, honestly. But as I like continued, you know, getting to know him, it's like his character, what defines it, not that number that I heard or whatever, you know.
So there might be some stigma around it.
Yeah.
I think maybe on both sides. Like when you first meet someone, you know, like if a girl's approaching a situation like, oh, he's a player, like, I don't know about this. Or like if a guy comes in and he's like, oh, she's kind of a hoe, like I don't know who she's been with. But you know, it's like getting past that stigma and like getting to look outside of that and like see who the person is and how you guys like treat each other. And it's all about the personality and the character, especially for the women. I mean, I know it's different for men, but like it's how you guys connect, and you know if that's worth like pursuing it further. You know, so you might be willing to look past that and pursue it further if you guys connect well, you know. But of course there's going to be that thought, the first hand, I think, on both sides.
Right. And like, I'm not saying that you can't, like, as a woman, you can't, if you want to sleep with a bunch of guys, go ahead, do it. That's your life. Live your life. Do what you want. But I'd also just add, both men and women, you know, you have the right to reject pretty much anyone for any reason. If the guy, you know, it could be their sexual past. It could be, you know, you don't like their personality. You don't like their physical appearance. You don't like some personality trait. You don't like that they previously ran around in a penis costume. I don't know, whatever it is. Talking about me right there. My past probably of some of my videos I did probably disqualifies me. Like, dude, this guy did all these weird pranks and stuff. Okay, so let me ask this question. Since, you know, history doesn't matter, past doesn't matter, would you guys date a guy who had previously committed multiple felonies,
like murder,
and did like, I don't know, 3 years,
Like what?
did like 3 years in prison? It's his past, right? No,
yeah, but
not
like
a problem.
murder.
We're talking about romantic relationships. Not like
what type of felony?
Let's just say he armed robbery. How about that?
Will my life be in danger? Like,
I don't know.
oh,
I'm not
I
sure.
like hot and spicy, but not that hot
Did
and
he do
spicy.
it for the thrill, or like
Yeah.
to survive, or like?
Did someone make him
I
do
He
it?
really-
someone
he
in
re-
jail.
was he like?
He really wanted he was at a convenience store. He was hungry. There was a bag of Doritos.
Oh,
They
what?
committed
That's
armed
like a
robbery
little
for a bag of
morally
Doritos.
wrong.
And
He
then
couldn't- what?
somehow he ended up in prison for 3 years for stealing a bag of Doritos. I don't know. He had a banana in his pocket. It looked like a gun. Next thing you know, boom, 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 armed robbery with a weapon. 3 years in prison.
I mean, I would talk to him and be like, were you in a hard time? Like, you couldn't
It was
afford a bag of
Doritos.
Doritos? Like,
Was it a ripe banana?
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Let me ask a different question.
Yeah, that was
Or
a
no,
little
let-
bad.
Why don't we just go around the table? Would you date a guy with a criminal history?
Same as my answer before. I think it just really depends on what it is.
Yeah.
You just
Okay.
have to talk through it.
You have to
Alright,
be more
okay.
specific.
I'm going to just ask a different question then.
Okay.
Wait, I have
Would-
an experience for that one.
Yeah, sure, go
Okay,
ahead.
So I actually dated someone in jail, and I
Did you have a conjugal visit?
I was dumb enough to set up like a GoFundMe and get him out of jail.
Oh,
and all
no.
this, because I thought he was like he loved me and like it was just whatever. And I mean, yeah, I wouldn't do it. It was like trying to catch up with his freedom instead of trying to catch up into a relationship. So it was like I just felt like I was playing the pick me up girl, and it was just not.
Were you writing letters?
Yeah, were you a pen pal?
I
Was it like pen
I
pal
was,
situation?
No, mine was phone calls. It was like I had the county jail already logged into my phone. Every
my
time I
gosh.
saw a phone, like county jail
SB
call
County
me.
Jail.
Yep,
Oh my
I was
God.
like, oh, that's him.
You're
Let
like,
me look
hello?
it
Wake
up.
up.
What do you need? Turns out he was dating someone the entire time. Like I didn't even know, and now the girl wants to
Wow.
fight me every time she sees me. So, but
Pathetic.
Ew.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Did you know him on the outside before, or you got connected when he was already in
no,
prison?
I knew him on the outside, like already.
Knew him in the biblical sense, or
I knew. Well,
Like
we were
your friends.
friends.
Your
We were
friends,
friends,
okay.
and then like I was like hanging out with him. Obviously, he was in the wrong crowd, so we were doing mischievous stuff together, and that's how our little relationship collided.
so you guys met in prison?
We met
You're a little
doing dumb
bad
stuff
boy.
together. Yeah.
Like you guys were crossing each other in the hallways. you were in the women's side. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. So like you guys were robbing
Yeah, we were
liquor
robbing
stores
banks
for
and everything
Doritos,
together.
right? Okay, got it. Okay.